For the latest development from our continent, in-depth interviews and reports, tune into Daybreak Africa, a 30-minute breakfast show from the Voice of America, weekdays Monday to Friday, 7 in the morning, right here on Sky FM 107.1.
107.1 FM. You are listening to your hit music radio station.
Stemster is the lead campaigner for human rights and justice in Liberia and a member of the delegation. He tells me the delegation was well received at the UN.
So by matter of fact, to address the culture of impunity, to establish a war crimes court, which has to do with dealing with violations of human rights and international humanitarian law, it falls directly within the international community's corridor, or I would say in their hand when it comes to a state party that is moving towards addressing the culture of impunity. So automatically, as a state party, Liberia found itself, is to present a political will to the international community that indeed we are ready to take up the responsibility to bring a closure to the widespread atrocities that were committed in Liberia. So by virtue of that, this meeting today in New York, which I was privileged to share the panel with the Foreign Minister of the Republic of Liberia and the Justice Minister and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, was basically to present to the UN Peacebuilding Commission a convincing proposal why Liberia should be supported, Liberia should be assisted technically, financially to establish a war and economic crimes court.
What was the reception to this presentation that was made?
Today, I can tell you that there was so much energy in the room. The reception, the responses from most of the countries that attended, the United Kingdom, the United States. We're talking about the EU. We're talking about Germany. We even coming back to even our own African continent. They all have expressed support for Liberia because this has been long overdue. That over 250,000 people died. There have been no accountability. So to address transitional justice process, that is the root cause of the conflict, has to be investigated. It has to be decided so that the country can bring a closure. So positively, the UN response today, I can say, is in the right direction. There is a political, diplomatic, consent towards helping Liberia to be able to raise the necessary support.
The voice of more than 17,000 defiance in Nigeria. Into every village, every town, taking gold, selling traps, marry our sisters, loving to our wives. Nima County is not reciprocated. You are not accepting crown people into Nima County. That is a serious problem for me. If we are accepting you and your people, your children, your brothers are buying land and living with us, and we are intermarried, you have that moral and religious obligation to accept us. Every crown person that lives in Nima will lie and say they are rebel or they are cruel. I'll give you 2 examples. There was a Nima lady who loved this crown god so much. I said, let's go to my parents. And they went to the parents in the village. And the youth in the town realized that this boy she brought is a crown boy. And they went to her and I said, this boy got to leave. And she said, I love you, I can't let him go. In the course of 1 week, the boy said he would never die.
Where?
I said, Nima. The second area was in regular Fanle, which is right before you get to the bridge. The DLDA man came across late in the evening, came to Fanle to drink. It wasn't him, he died. They had to told him to bring him back after. I'm challenging the people of Nima. We don't want to go. We are asking you to let bygones be back. There's a lady in town here who was renting in a Nima lady's house, but she refused to confess that she's a crown person. And they were so nice living together. But the minute that woman says she's crown, the woman told her to leave. Those are the problems that we have. But in the meantime, we have Nima people in Bolletown, George Bolletown, the town there, the town chief is from Nima. We don't flinch, we don't bow our head.
I come to your office, you come to my office, you didn't tell me. We prefer to bring out to the public to say we are killer and we kill somebody. This is not good. During this gone election, you made a statement regarding Mbokun, who is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia and president of the Liberian Senate. You admonished the Granjudians not to vote for a killer. You rather vote for we. Today, everything has changed. He's our vice president. He's the president of the Liberian Senate, before whom we sit as he presides. We are the elders from the 2 counties that fought themselves. The war is over. Everyone in this Senate met me here, and I'm still here.
Go ahead.
I have worked with every senator from Grand Judah, the representative Joe Honorable Zopena. He's the first I got to know when we went to Winnipeg, Ghana. And people said to him, don't sit by that murderer. He said, but our people killed them too. The war is over. I'm going to sit by him. He sat by me. And then we are here. We've come a long way. I work with every senator, as a Yanebo, Marsha Dennis, Alfonso Gay.
Removed from office some officials of former President George Weah's government for alleged corruption. Eugene Nabwe is the chair of the CDC National Executive Committee. He tells me that former President Weah is a man of peace who operated within the confines of the Liberian laws during his administration.
The government of Liberia, under the then leadership of former President Weah, have always been in the interest of peace, in the interest of accountability. But it is quite surprising that this new government under President Boakai has resorted to using the judicial system to further political aims. And why are we saying this? He just told me that these people were ordered arrested. It will surprise you to note that they were ordered arrested, and even as we speak, the Ministry of Justice is now going around calling people to convene an emergency grand jury to present evidence to that jury. It is an inverted way of doing things. Why would you arrest somebody without even adducing evidence before the grand jury in keeping with Liberian law? So when President Weah spoke, he condemned this and many other actions by the Boakai government to use.
Boakai government is not witch hunting anyone. It will not make witch hunting a part of its programs and policies. However, if the Boakai administration got reports, be it from the GHC, be it from the LACC, be it from other anti-graft institutions that indicate that there are people who breached the public trust, and the Ministry of Justice determines that prosecutorial actions are possible so as to hold people accountable. That's exactly what the administration will do.
Okay, so another sad day for the media. I don't know. Some of us we get the news and we come on radio. It is completely devastating. I know. Anyway, good morning and welcome to the show this morning on the first edition of the week. Yes, the media is again bereaved. Less than just 2 months after the death of our colleague Mole Trojan Kezulu, another death again has struck the media community in Liberia. And I mean, it is so sad, very surprising, shocking to me, because I honestly never in my entire life thought that a good friend and brother, a colleague who, I mean, we joke, I don't know what to say, but At this point in time, getting up early this morning and getting this news and seeing messages in the Press Union of Liberia and other media-related chat rooms about the death of our good friend and brother, Fidel Sedi. It is shocking. It's shocking. I don't know. Anyway, but we pray that his soul rests in perfect peace. Our condolences to the family. I mean, it's shocking. It is shocking, honestly. It's shocking. It's surprising, but if that's the word of God, fine. But Fidel City, we say, may your soul rest in peace. May your soul rest in peace, brother. I don't know, but we will follow it. But once again, the media landscape in Liberia is bereaved. What a challenging moment. A time that we in the media, we are not getting afraid. We don't know where to go now. Death upon death is struck in the media. Folks, Fidel City is no more. He's no more. He's no more. A good friend who and I will meet, and the kind of a joke will crack. I don't know how to describe it. The last time I spoke with Fidel City, I must say we met the last time, probably prior to his sickness. He called me the Lionel Messi of Sky. You know, we joked on it. But anyway, let me take this break and be right back. Okay, so welcome back. So that's it. It is what it is. We can't question God, and we will give other information as the near rises as it relates to Fidel's death. But Fidel was a very friendly guy and open to everyone and jokes with everyone. I never in my entire life saw Fidel frowning before, but anyway, we'll get to that. But good morning and welcome. Today is the 9th of September, 2024. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.1 FM. Yes, we are here, and you can catch us on our Facebook pages, Sky Communications Liberia and the Liberia Public Radio. Also on YouTube, you can get us on Sky FM and TV Liberia and the Liberia Public Radio as well. You can go there, share the link, share with friends, drop your comments. Trust me, I'll read it out today before I leave. But you know, a lot of things to talk about. At 8:15 this morning, we are hosting a sports journalist in this country. And you know, our senior national soccer team, the Lone Star, on Friday drew with Togo in Lomé. And so tomorrow, Tuesday, we will be playing host to Algeria in the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier. A lot of questions to ask. We saw the national team players, they performed. We saw the performance. And so we are asking some basic questions. Do you think this crop of players that we have now can qualify us for the 2025 African Cup of Nations? I think it's in Morocco, right? Yeah, in Morocco. What can we do to make sure that, or making sure that we qualify? What can the government do? What can the LFA do? And we'll do some analysis of the squad. We saw the starting lineup on Friday. Of course, our coach Mauricio always want to use those players that he's familiar with. But there was an introduction of, I think, 2 players, and that put pressure on Togo that resulted to 1-1 draw. And that guy, Gibson, I don't know whether Gibson had played for the senior national soccer team before, but if I want to think, and I think that was my first time seeing Gibson on the field on the national team. I don't know. Someone can correct me. They got to score the equalizer for our team, for the Lone Star. And then this Emmanuel Ernest guy. Yes, when the two of them were introduced in the game, a couple of other guy, the pressure was actually on Togo, so we equalized. So this morning at 8:15, I'm going to be having a good friend and brother here who is a sports journalist. He's a former spokesperson of the Liberia Football Association, and Danishas Mate. Danishas Mate going to be my guest. Hopefully, he and I spoke yesterday, and I pray that he doesn't forsake me. If he does, then we'll do different things. But Danishas Mate, I know as a friend and brother, we're going to be here this morning as my guest from 8:15 to 9 o'clock to talk about the Senior National Soccer Team, the Lone Star. Tomorrow, we'll be at the SKD supporting them as we host Algeria in the qualifiers. So good morning. A lot of things to talk about. Prince Johnson again, the man said, look, he doesn't even have the slightest belief that the World Economic Crimes Code will come to Liberia. He spoke yesterday at his church and said, look, Joseph Nyuma Boakai and the folks around him are all fully Liberian people. Even though he signed the resolutions at the Senate that talks about the establishment of the WECC, but he does not believe and he does not think that that establishment will exist, that the World Economic Crimes Code will come. So can we say that the president of Liberia is playing fun with the Liberian people? Because he has now opened the office of the World Economic Crimes Court. But Prince Johnson is saying no. Yesterday in a church, he said that will not happen. He said President Boakai and his likes are joking. That will not happen. He said it will not happen even in 2029. Will not happen. He said it will not happen. The president and his followers are all fooling the Liberian people, and so they should not lie to the Liberian people. There will not be an establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court in this country. Those are what Prince Johnson said in his church yesterday. In fact, he went as far as saying that, look, sorry. He said, look, in fact, the president doesn't even answer my call. He doesn't even talk to me again. He has surrounded himself with a bunch of, I don't know what to say. Do you think Prince Johnson is joking? The last time I played a clip here by former warlord, Thomas Yaya Nimle, who said, look, the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court is a recipe for chaos. We will destroy our peace. But the question is, why the warlords now are speaking? In fact, initially we used to hear the voice of Prince Johnson regularly when it came to the establishment of the WECC. But now Thomas Yaya Nimle have added his voice. What is his name? George Bode, once upon a time, I think also said the same thing, added his voice. What are they on? Are the former warlords now trying to collaborate? That is what some of us are sensing. Because initially, Prince Johnson will talk, and people will say, oh, Prince Johnson not really here, man. He's not really here. I mean, you're talking for nothing. Now, recently, Thomas Yaya Nimle added his voice, George Bode added his voice. So I'm seeing a kind of a collaboration now that is about to exist or already existing amongst them. Liberian, let's be careful. When you see somebody who brought war in the country and kill people start to threaten the peace, especially what Thomas Yaya Nimle said, that the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court will destabilize our peace. And Prince Johnson is saying, look, it will not exist. Those people are collaborating. They are gradually coming together and thinking that they will put fear in the Liberian people. This time around, it's not Prince Johnson alone. This time around, it's not Prince Johnson alone. Thomas Yaya Nimna has spoken. George Bode has spoken. And Prince Johnson's climax yesterday, he said, Lord, when I come. And we know they will keep talking. You know, the last time when President Joseph Nyuma Boakai went to the USA, he took a delegation with him, and some of them headed by the foreign minister met congressmen, the American government, even Adama Dempster were amongst them. He was interviewing the VOA and said, look, the meeting they had with the American government was fruitful, and he had promised to support us. Less than 3 weeks, less than 3 or 4 weeks, less than 3 weeks, the ambassador of the American people, the ambassador of the USA, said clearly that, look, we will support you people in the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. But Prince Johnson is saying it will never happen. What is it depending on? When he was staying in the church and said, look, even up to 2029, it will never happen. What is Prince Johnson depending on? Folks, let's be careful. Don't play with those guys. We should not play with them. Let me see what I can get a voice of Prince Johnson. He said it will not happen. No matter what you do, it will not come to fruition. That World Economic Crimes Court, even to 2029, will not come to. And one thing I go and say, look, President Boakai gave me answer my call. The men are surmised, so people are stealing money. Yeah. Oh, you're supporting, you thought I was going to put you. I want to play a voice. Then from there, we will join the VOA at 8 o'clock for the news. We'll come back 8:15. Good friend and brother. Where you will talk. Good friend and brother Danisha Smartel expected to be here as my guests. So he got in there. He said, you surrender yourself with crooks and they must go. He said, because it's in God's hands, so the World Economic Crimes Court will not be established in this country. That's the voice of Prince Johnson. He didn't get stopped there. He talked about about threatening the peace as well, as Thomas Yaya Nimle said. The same thing Senator Yaya Nimle said. It's the same thing that Senator Prince Johnson is saying. So my question now is that what in this that will threaten the peace? People went against the law. People went to kill people. They thought that, oh yes, okay, the people will be awed with. 9 Liberians are saying that, look, we are tired with this thing. We are tired with this thing. We need justice. The Prince Johnson and Thomas Yaya Nimle say no. Impossible. Let me respect the senators. Senator Prince Johnson and Senator Prince Yaya Nimle say no. It will not work. When you do it, it will destabilize the peace that we enjoy in this country. Let's listen to Thomas Nimle. We'll come back. We'll join the VOA. Let's go right here. He said, United Nations, please stand by and see. The people want to destabilize our peace. We brought our peace and we want to spoil our peace. What is it in the establishment of the ECC that's going to destabilize the peace? What's it? That 2 warlords talking it out. Those are kill people. They destroy lives and property, loot it. Train our young Liberians to be fighters. That they don't want talking it out. Anyway, we will join the VOA. We will come back at 5 minutes past 8. I will open the lines to hear from you. What do you make of Senator Prince Johnson's statement and that of Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle's statement about the establishment? They are constantly talking about the stabilization of the peace. To destabilize the peace. Let's join the VOA and be right back.
Mohammed Morsi, Deputy Director of the Gaza Civil Emergency Service in the northern areas of the Gaza Strip, and 4 of his family members, according to health officials. The Civil Service Emergency Service said in a statement that Morsi's death raised the number to 83 of its members killed by Israeli fire since October 7th. Residents said Israeli forces had also blown up several houses in the suburb of Gaza City. Medical teams said they were unable to answer desperate calls by some of the residents who had reported being trapped inside their houses. Later on Sunday, the Gaza Health Ministry said Israeli military strikes across the enclave killed at least 15 people. Christina Menenti, VOA News.
U.S. House of Representatives Republicans are releasing a long-awaited report Monday, blasting Democratic President Joe Biden's administration for failures surrounding the chaotic and deadly U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and 3 years ago. VOA's Joe Ramsey.
The report contends the administration made its decision to evacuate non-combatants far too late, failed to communicate between departments in Washington and among officials in Afghanistan, and botched the paperwork for the departure of Afghan civilians eligible to leave the country. It is the result of a 3-year investigation led by Representative Michael McCaul, Republican chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Democrats have insisted some blame for the messy end of the war, less than 7 months into Biden's presidency, should be laid at the feet of former U.S. President Donald Trump, who began the withdrawal process by signing a deal with the Taliban in 2020. Joe Ramsey, VOA News, Washington.
More voanews.com. This is VOA News. 2 NATO members at Sunday, Russian drones violated their airspace AP correspondent Karen Shamas explains.
Romania has said that a Russian drone flew into its airspace during nighttime attacks on neighboring Ukraine. Meanwhile, another Russian drone crashed into eastern Latvia the previous day. Romania's defense ministry said it had deployed F-16 warplanes to monitor its airspace and issued text alerts to residents of 2 eastern regions. Meanwhile, Latvia's defense minister said that a Russian drone fell the day before near the town of Rozekne and had likely strayed into Latvia from neighboring Belarus. I'm Karen Shamas.
The World Health Organization's Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus urged the world to wake up and help Sudan in its health crisis.
We must focus on all people in need, all 25 million people. And this means additional resources are required to meet their needs. And we're calling on the world to wake up and help Sudan out of the nightmare it's living through.
And civilians in Sudan are facing worsening famine, displacement, and disease after 17 months of war, according to agencies.
According to available data, Sudan's conflict has so far killed more than 20,000 people. This is an underestimate, by the way. Displaced over 10 million people inside the country and forced another 2 million to flee to neighboring countries. This is the largest internal displacement of people in the world today.
The WHO chief also said the people of Sudan have been struggling through flooding, dam bursting, diseases including cholera, malaria, dengue, measles, the risk of mpox, conflict-related sexual violence, and near collapse of the country's entire health system. Pope Francis arrived in the remote jungles of Papua New Guinea, landing on the northwest coast of the country with a ton of humanitarian aid to deliver to the missionaries and faithful who live there. Francis started his Sunday in the capital with a mass before an estimated 35,000 people trip is being carried out as part of Francis's belief that the peripheries of the Catholic Church are more important than centers of power. You'll find more at voanews.com. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
Okay, so welcome back to the show this morning. So we wait for our guest there. The lines are open. I play the two voices. Thomas Yaya Nimle talks about threatening the peace. Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle, Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle talks about threatening the peace. And Senator Prince Johnson also buttressed him. He said they're threatening the peace. So what do you make of? Why are they saying that the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court will be threatening the peace? Why are they saying it? What are you sensing? Are you sensing a collaboration between the warlords now? Mind you, these guys signed the resolutions at the legislature. If it came to a point that Senator Prince Johnson, who did not sign, he said they were hiding it for him. According to him, he himself walked to the pro tem office and said, look, bring that resolution, let me sign it. And so he signed it. But why now? They see that the president of Liberia's Excellency Joseph Nyuma Boakai is now starting to open the office or establish the office of the World Economic Crimes Court. Lobbying around for assistance, informing that when people are, look, we need your help. In fact, even took delegation from here to the US and even sent them to the government of the USA to ask for help, and they said they were going to help us. Predicated upon that, the American ambassador to Liberia said that Liberia will be assisted by the US government to establish the World Economic Crimes Court. So why Senators Prince Johnson and Thomas Yaya Nimle are now saying that the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court is intended to destabilize the peace that we are enjoying? Do you sense something different? Are they up to different things? Are they collaborating now as warlords or former warlords? I was call them warlords. While we wait for our guests to come, let me hear you quickly. 07777 07777 If you are watching us on our YouTube channel, all of the country, or any of our Facebook pages, call +231 777 That is the WhatsApp number. Let's hear you. Are you seeing something? Are you sensing something? Are they collaborating? Just last week or last 2 weekends, last weekend. No, I think last weekend, Senator Prince, Tomo Yaya Nimle was invited and he went there and said something about the stabilizing the peace. Prince Johnson re-echoed last yesterday.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm better, my dear friend. I'm better. What's your name?
I'm Mohammed Sharif, and I call you from the Lokitan Belt.
Mohammed, welcome. Are you sensing something between the warlords?
I'm not sensing like you are sensing. What I'm trying to notice there is that, like Tomoya Nameless said, in Liberia, we got something they call like bygone be bygone. I think it was from that angle that Senator Nyimile was saying. We fought a lot. We've gone to the TRC to spend a lot of money. We have gone to other institutions. We spend a lot of money. And today we are enjoying a fragrant peace in our country. What I can see, and it comes to their point, is that what is more important for Liberia right now is the economic crime code.
So what happened to the war crimes code?
The war crime code, we went to the TRC, people confessed they are doing, and some of them even create that remorse. You could see the born naked today is a very big evangelist. You want to take that man of God to court again, to traumatize him? I think Liberians should forgo this thing, because even if we kill the guys, the death that they cause will not come back. Even if we jail this guy, like Taylor is in jail now, is it bringing the death or the life that he's caused?
So before I let you go, before I let you go, what do you make of those Liberians who are crying for justice? They are Liberians who are crying for justice. They were affected by the war and they said they want justice. What do you make of that?
My brother, I pity with them. I'm in sorrow with them. And I think their call for justice is necessary. But, at a certain point in time, economy will get something they call opportunity cost.
Okay, so
right?
so
the justice that they are pleading for right now is for these guys to pay either with their life or turn in jail, right? If for example, their plea is accepted, will it bring back the lives that it cost?
Justice.
Those people that they lost?
Thank you. Justice will be served if it doesn't accept it. Good morning, line 2.
Good morning, Julius.
Good morning, Zach Bimbo, my good friend and brother who have lost from me.
Julius, thank you. That one will talk to off there.
Let's hear you, Zach. Do you agree with the first caller?
Julius, I want to disagree with the first caller. Look, the God that we serve is a God of justice, and that is the reason why even those who have died on the last day, on the return, on the second coming of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we have to give account of the life they lived while they were on earth. So you can't say because they have died, there will be no judgment for them.
Even we that I will go ahead, we're going to face justice. We're going to face justice.
We still have to give account.
Yes.
So I disagree with him, and I think the only way we will feel happy, the only way we will feel that indeed people will not come again to commit those atrocities are the guys who are living luxurious life while the people who they impose the adject property on our suffering. The only reason why we'll be happy is when they face justice. So no amount of stress. You see Prince Johnson and the rest of George Bole, Yaya Nimle, these are all people, Julius. God forbid something happened today, you will never hear those guys at the forefront of anything again.
Okay,
there are a lot of terrible young people more than those people, so they can't threaten our peace.
Thank you.
before the World Economic Crime Code will come. Thank you, Julius.
Thank you, Zach Bimbo. Zanga David, just hold on shortly. Let's go to the second line. Line 2, good morning.
Good morning, Julius. How are you?
I'm better. Quickly, we got somebody on the national line. What's your name?
Yeah, but the international line is more important than us.
Let go. The voice sound like Tama. John Tama.
This is John D. Tama.
No, my.
Yeah, that's what's making more money up there. Let you roll on small.
My man Zanga David, listen to you. That's all.
Listen, Julius. At 103.5. Just agree with the first caller. Look,
but John, I'll give you time. I know you disagree with him, but the point I'm making there, a whole Liberians are sensing or seeing what I'm saying. The last time, in fact, initially, Senator Prince Johnson to say, talk about the war crimes, people to mock him and stuff like that. But the last time, 1 or 2 weeks ago, Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle was invited to celebrate, I think I'm 25 from 20-year peace, and he made a statement. The establishment of the War Economic Crimes Code will destabilize the peace. You get me? And then Senator Prince Johnson buttressed him yesterday. What are you sensing? Are you seeing a collaboration between the war laws now?
Let me first of all establish this, right? That word from Yaya Nimle came from the belly of the devil. There would be nothing that will happen here. What we got is international backing. Get this clear. Let Yaya Nimle be listening to all this morning. Let him listen very well. Listen very well, Yaya. Let me let you know. Before you buy your so-called water Liberia, what did he use? He used some international influence. What was your stepping stone? I want to know your stepping stone. Let us ask Prince Johnson what was his stepping stone. It was the international community and the international war stepping stone that he used. For example, he used Ivory Coast to enter to Liberia. He used Burkina Faso. You, Yaya Nimle, your plan was in Ghana. You passed through a border before coming. So if the international border are close onto you, look, your sin will die before arrival.
Thank you.
I'm telling you seriously. That word from the belly of the devil. So Yaya Nimle glory in hell. You need to go to court.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the national line. Zanga David, good morning and sorry for holding you online.
Yeah, no problem, Julian. No problem. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for this program. I hope you are doing great on the other side of the world.
By the grace of God.
Thank you for the new recognition. Julius, let me tell you something, my man. 100% agree with the last caller. Look, Julius, you see these guys, they are very crafty and smart. They played or they use this war syndrome as scare tactics. Most of the guys in Liberia that kill people, that took part in the war, that killed more than 250,000 people, they use the war drum as scare tactics. Just what the last caller stated, Julius, nothing will happen in that country. The reason a war came to Liberia because people never tasted the war. But now people know what is war. People will insult man, cause war, do anything. But Julius, if you bring war in Liberia, you're on your own. And let me say this, my brother. President Joseph Numa Boakai, 2 things. If he failed to do in Liberia, you'll be one of the worst presidents, even more than President Weah. Is 1, to establish this War Economic Crime Code in Liberia, and 2 is inflicting of corruption. If he does these things, he will be re-elected. Let me tell you, Julius, everything, infrastructure, everything will happen in that country. As long as there is no War Economic Crimes Code in that country, my brother, Liberia is on a time bomb. Because you know what? Anybody can do anything and go free. People like Thomas Nima Yaya and the legs of Prince Johnson, they are scared tactics. Anytime you talk about World Economic Crime Code, they say, oh, it would destroy the peace. And we get people that can listen to us. They don't have a damn body that can listen to them, my brother. Let me tell you, we want a World Economic Crime Code in our country, and President Joseph Numa Boakai, the reason that the Liberian people work in the water to put you there is to fight corruption and
Thank you,
establish
Daniel.
Thank you, Julius.
Zanga, I'll give you a call, man. Let's talk to my last caller on this segment. My guest is in studio already. Good morning.
Good morning, Julia.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
This is Mr. Bova speaking this morning.
Mr. who?
Mr. Bova,
okay,
from district number 9.
Let's hear you, sir.
Look, let me tell you something. Prince Johnson, the Yaya Nimne, George Bowley, these guys, they don't serious for this country. They see that Liberia is for them. They see that Kelly is just good in this country. From 1980, Yaya Nimne, your country involved in Kelly. Your own son was the leader. Samuel Kanyan Joe, your kid trouble. We went through and start Kelly each other PRC.
The people say if we establish the WECC is a recipe for chaos.
Let me tell you, children, let me learn. These guys, they started Kelly on tape. You think that Kelly was stupid to bring war here? When we now make this country to be our lawyer, go bring overthrowing business in this country, when Taylor was standing looking at us on the beach when they were killing the people, killing them. They said they were army people.
All right, thank you. Don't get vexed. Thank you very much. Thank you. My guest is here already. All right, for them to take a break. When I come back, of course, a seasoned, I say seasoned, so you understand what I'm saying? A seasoned sports journalist. I call him a veteran as well. You know, he's a senior brother to me. He has more than sometimes he can come so we can stand together. It's in the studio here. We're gonna be talking about our senior national, that's the soccer team. We're taking on Algeria tomorrow, and so we want to do some analysis, our chances, and do we really think that the clubs of players that we have now will really qualify us? What's his impression of the coach? Let's take a musical break. When I come back, we'll take him right here on the line.
Gather down before the gathered and play. Look at the Habed massacre. Look at the Luchin Church massacre. Look at the Nima raid. Look at the cow feed Dubaro massacre. Economic criminals. Bring them to justice now. Bring them to justice now.
John the one that you want, I don't eat. I didn't see that we can't understand. And you John the one that you want, I don't eat. I didn't see that I don't understand. You know you to wait and compare your son. You know you to wait and compare your son. You say you not to wait and compare your son. And you say you not to wait and compare your son. LAB, what peaceful to the fire damage, he has freedom for us for us. They talk on Duffer Tabe, but for the greed and power, poor people suffer. Charity malnourished, dry some of them buffer. But the people they all say they must single fire, what strip bullet, picking up people who were so terrified. Hey man, you go high in the chest of massacre. But they in the bus, what carry the news that are so far. They don't walk raw, all they take away. So innocent people for free, and they won't get away. You not forget, you rip your fuck and lamb it on the ground for that funny shit, for you know what we're infinity. Spending my own rebellion, I try to justify it was for him and the T-rip cause nobody said a lot. Everybody now we go. Our voices got a result. Good job, we're not told at the time for us to follow.
Okay, so the fine song there by the man I made is called Impunity. You must go and justify. Tell the people why you did what you did. But Senators Prince Johnson and Thomas Yaya Nimle are saying that, look, when you establish the WECC in this country, it's a recipe for chaos. For me, what I'm sensing is that they are now trying to collaborate at war laws. Want to be careful. Anyway, folks, I told you I'm going to be having my senior brother, a veteran Liberian journalist, Danishas Mattel. You all know him. He worked for ECOWAS Radio before, and then he served as the spokesperson of the Liberia Football Association, and he resigned. Let me say good morning to a good friend and brother. Danishas, good morning, brother.
Good morning, Julius, and it's a pleasure to be on Sky FM this morning. Thank God for life. Thank God for health. I like the way I began my, my day. Went for Mars.
Always see you passing away from Mars.
Yes. I mean,
on
the black we can say that God mine also.
God mine.
So we gotta go tell God thank you for continuously mining.
Obviously. Yeah, thanks for coming, man. I was trying to call you by your phone. I thought you're not going to come, but I know you're not going to forsake me.
No, I mean, I've never turned down an opportunity to be on radio.
Every time, even on the phone, I call you when you were LFA spokesperson, the morning to talk to me. And that's a good one. Yeah, well, Danisha, did you watch the game? Or have you been watching the senior national soccer team, the Lone Star games, before this Friday game?
Yes, I mean, of course, working for the Football Association, you get the chance to see the national teams, not just the senior team, but the teams play. So yes, I follow the national team, the senior team, the junior teams. I follow them. I mean, I've religiously keeping track of the players, where they play, their progress, the coach, the team. I mean, just everything about the team. So yes, I watched Friday's game.
Okay. What's your impression about that game?
Well, I think for a large period of the game, Togo dominated Liberia. Maybe the strategy was to sit back, consume the pressure,
okay.
And then you pick your opponents on the break. But for a large period of the game, we were sitting and I think something the coach must have told the players. Maybe in football we say they went to play ugly. Maybe that was a strategy, but I will want to see when they play Algeria tomorrow, because since Mario Marenica took over, largely we've played teams, below the rankings. Say maybe we've played teams that we're above in terms of the FIFA ranking, except for Namibia when we drew with Namibia in the World Cup qualifiers.
But Namibia is higher than us.
Yeah, Namibia is higher than us. Of course, they went to the, I think the last, the AFCON that was in Egypt. They were there. Yeah. So of course they are a superior team. But again, that Namibia game, all right. I mean, even you see when we play Comoros, when we play Comoros in Morocco, for a large period of the game, we could not break down Comoros, until the 90, like almost towards the end of the match, when we score. So we took 3 points from Equatorial Guinea, because they fielded Emiliano in Sioux.
Yeah.
So now we have like 4 points, 7 points from the group,
So what's our position on the table?
We are into two competitions. We are in the World Cup.
I mean,
we are in the Nations Cup.
The
Nations Cup, we are level. No, Algeria have 3 points. We have 1. Togo have 1, and Equatorial Guinea at the bottom. So maybe alphabetically, you say Liberia, Togo. So maybe we second on the table. To Algeria because Algeria won Equatorial Guinea, in Algiers, so they have 3 points. We drew away to Togo in Lomé, so we have 1 point. Togo have 1 point, and then Equatorial Guinea at the bottom. So technically, we can say we joined second, or in terms of the alphabetical rankings, then we can say we are second in the group.
You've been watching the team. You've been watching the teams playing, specifically the senior national soccer team. Let's dwell on the present coach, Mauricio. Since he came, the players he's been using, he's been calling down. I mean, can Liberians depend on the players? Let's forget about the World Cup for now. Let's focus on the AFCON.
Okay.
Can we depend on those players to qualify us for the 2025? Is that Morocco?
Yeah, 2025 Morocco. So, I've come with this school of thought that, football, Europe is the epic center of world football. So, in terms of being the best, you must be playing Europe, But then over the time, football being cruel as it can be sometimes, you look at the way Zambia won the Nations Cup, even the way Togo qualified for the World Cup, above teams like Senegal. I mean, I remember the 2012 Nations Cup final. If you look at the Africa Coast team, I mean, cut across, you see an array of
big
stars, big players,
yeah,
from Europe,
The names alone can
frighten you, and then Zambia won the Nations Cup, and then you're like, no, football can be cruel, But again, you want to be the best, you got to play in some of the best leagues in Europe, But what Mario Maranica has, is what the country, has produced as players, whether they play in Czech Republic, like Oscar Dole, all right, or they play in Asia, or they play in the Scandinavian countries in Europe. Those are the players that we have. What Mario can do is to get the best of them. So sometimes it's a mixture to judge play, to say because we don't have players in Europe, that's why we're not making competition. No, it's not true. But there are other countries, Madagascar qualified for the Nations Cup. Their best player was playing in Thailand. So
when you say the coach needs to get the best from them, in what way can he do that? I mean, when you watch the senior team playing, initially, I mean, I want to give this coach the credit. Before he came over, we'll see Lone Star playing, and from the first half, we'll be happy with the Lone Star. When second half come, the first 10 minutes, second half, energy is finished, and then our opponents start to run us. But saying he came, and I'm seeing some improvement where even second half they will fight. How can he improve that? Because the game requires energy, it requires tactics. And how can you do that?
One of the things I learned from the Football Association, I had a chance to cover a physical fitness course. We brought a British Tunisian guy, came to Liberia, and there was this question I asked him. I mean, I was sitting around lunchtime, and I said, even though I'm covering the course as the media guy or as the journalist, but I got some concerns, and then I passed it by him. He said, "Oh, very good concern." So in doing the after lunch, I will give you the chance, and then so we can share it. So I said, but there's this belief, that Liberia will break down as a country, as a team. We
in the
break
second
in the
half.
second half, and sometimes we concede late goals, especially if you look at the 2002 Nations Cup and all down, could it be down to the training? Could it be dieting?
What's the cause?
What's the cause? And his response was that normally teams have the way they will train, and the way they want to play. But if it is a problem that even at club level, all right, the Liberian teams tend to break down in the second half, then primarily first it has to do with the way they train.
Liberian players.
Yes, the way they train. And then secondly will be with dieting, because when you go to a game or as a team, you have to eat certain food and abstain from certain food. So, like for example, you don't have to drink Coke. As a player, during the season, you don't have to drink Coke. You don't have to eat certain food. That's why you eat, if you have a game at 4 o'clock, they tell you to eat maybe by lunchtime, 12. And then you go to the dressing room, they have snacks, banana, crackers, tea, kind of stuff that will give you energy, that it will not make you heavy, it will not make you light, So maybe if the observation, and I mean, kudos to the coach, yes, I have some criticism about him.
Yeah, we'll come to
but evidently from watching the game, because the tactics or the game plan was to sit back. So at around 65, 70 minutes, we were wearing away, because maybe we had a belief that we were going to draw.
Yeah.
All right. But when Togo scored, and then it was like, okay, we either lose or we draw or we win. So then we came out.
Push it out.
They push it out and stuff like that. Yes, I mean, those kind of things in a game situation, when you have a plan and the plan is to draw, all right, and you concede a goal, especially around the 60, 70 minutes, you concede a goal, then you're like, okay, no, but there is still 20 more minutes to play. So let me run, the clock.
So
down.
on Friday, the game, the introduction of this guy, Emmanuel Ernest.
Yes, he plays in Switzerland
Switzerland.
They call it the Challenge League, which is like the second division.
Yeah, and this Gibson guy that scored a goal.
William Gibson.
They are pairing. How did you look at that when it came in? Because they brought him second half, right?
Yeah.
When the team was now getting tired and pressure was mounted. Even when Togo scored, the same mounting pressure. But they put Gibson, Gibson is huge. Started fighting that defense, and then that goal came.
Yeah, I think they.
What do you make of that change from the coach?
Those were tactical changes, good, because and in football we call it impact changes, because you make a substitution whether you are down or you are drawing, and the substitutes you bring on, they make an impact. It leads to a goal or goals or whatever. We call it impact substitution. So yes, I mean I think tactically it was good. I was thinking from the onset that he would have played Divine, Divine Tier. Yeah, he would have played Divine Tier because his introduction to the team, I mean, from Honor 20, Honor 17, Honor 20, he has had the playing in the league and in the local league, and the way he has been able to play his game, and now he's in Europe. He plays for Hammarby in the Swedish Avenskin. I was thinking he would have played Divine, play Oscar, and then, yes, and then have Sangari. So you play either like full. The
way Sangari were playing, did you see pressure on Sangari?
Well,
the miss passes were too much.
That was because he's you gotta give it up to him. He's a versatile player. He can play in defense. He can play in midfield.
Even up front.
And even up front. So that's the versatility he brings. To the game. I mean, but if you notice that if he's playing in midfield, all right, maybe as a holding midfielder or as the provider, behind the strikers, and he's not giving all his best, and you, the coach, you know that this guy can play anywhere, then you switch formation. But that's why probably, and I don't want to believe that Mario doesn't know that Sangari
could play another role.
Yeah, could play another role. I don't want, because the technical staff that Sebastian Collins.
But even when you brought Divine Tier in, Sangari still played that role.
Very good. So I mean, I wouldn't want to believe that the technical team did not tell him, how versatile.
But frequently we saw here and Kevin Sengbe hanging here,
So Kelvin, as his principal deputy, Kelvin, of course, as a former player who have followed the progress of the team, and Kevin knows that Sangari can play here, he can play there. So if he's not functioning in central midfield, there's too much pressure on, he's giving up 40 passes, all right, then you switch him or you take him from the game. But he's the coach, he knows why he kept Sangari there in the position. Maybe he thought that we can get the best of him as as a holding midfielder more than playing at left back or in central defense, or even playing behind the strikers. I mean, we play Algeria tomorrow. We cannot play Algeria the way we play Togo.
That's where I was coming.
We cannot play Algeria the way we play Togo.
Liberians, I spoke to Liberians, and some of them are like, we know Algeria to be that free-flowing team. The only good thing for Liberia is that Riyad Mahrez got injured. He left the camp of Algeria. So when I heard that news, I was so happy. I said, well, then go on and then go on down. Because Riyad Mahrez, I know, and other players from Algeria, they got out, I want to say something quote-unquote European style of play.
Yes, they play what we call Tao Tao.
Tao Tao football.
So we should not play them and sit at the back, consume the pressure. No, we should not play that. We're going to play Algeria in the first 15 minutes. We should score a goal because we play at home.
Is it possible? I know it's to score 15 minutes.
No, it's not possible. I'm sorry, it's not impossible to do it. It's not impossible.
Algeria?
We play at home. Last time we played Algeria, some 14 years ago.
Those were big names, man.
Yes,
Those were big names.
we know. I mean, I'm talking about doing the 2010 World Cup qualifiers. We drew with I think that was the Tony Tisdale's debut for Liberia.
Yeah.
We drew 0-0. So we're not going to go back to the same and maybe that time the team was with Antoine Hay as the coach. Maybe somebody say we were building a team. We've passed building a team now. I mean, I don't want to hear from Mario that he's building a team. You have a national team. It's not a club team. You assemble your best players. You give them a system to play, and you as the coach, you make the system work. If the system cannot work, you pack and leave.
So how do we play tomorrow?
So we play because
I would be on the field, and honestly, I'm thinking whether I will not come back home sad. And my wife, my house, whenever the Lone Star is defeated or even eat is difficult for me. Two teams in the world, Lone Star and Chelsea.
I can imagine you will not eat plenty this season because Chelsea, they have already started.
No, Chelsea won't buy used to me already. and the other team that's frustrating me too, my IE. I love IE, but man, I know all the things are supposed to get me. But the point I'm making there is that Liberians don't want to go on the field tomorrow. They will go on the field. You will never see the Lone Star play and the field not be packed. Obviously, when the Lone Star is playing, it's like can't meet. The field get jam packed. What a strategy you think that coach can really deploy to hold on the front line of Algeria, even the midfield, the likes of Sangari? You think introducing Divine Tier from the beginning of the game will stabilize our midfield a bit? He and Sangari pairing and that of Oscar Dolly.
So yeah, I will be thinking, and I will suggest that he played. He uses 4 midfielders, but maybe in a diamond formation. So you make Sangari say maybe the holding midfielder if that's what he wants. Then you use Divine and Oscar Dolly other side because they are left-footed. So one play left, one play right, or you push Divine behind the strikers, so you're going to play with Terry Sacco.
Because Divine got a skill too.
Yeah, you're going to play with Terry Sacco and Peter Wilson, So if you put Divine behind them in a diamond formation, all right, then it means you're going for an attack. So literally or technically, you'll be playing 4-3-3.
So do you want us to attack Algeria?
We playing at home.
So
we playing at home. We beat Algeria, then we go top of the group because in the zonal.
And Algeria said coming to that motive. I be like, bro, I got top of the group.
Exactly. In the zonal, in the zonal rankings and with the format of the qualifiers, there are 2 teams that are going to qualify for Morocco 2025.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not one. There are two
teams.
So if you beat Algeria, you got 4 points. You go top of the group. All right. And then you prepare for the next round of qualifiers, which will be in October. So then you go to play Equatorial Guinea. All right. And then maybe you come to play Togo, or I don't know. I will check.
Who do you think should be our starting striker tomorrow?
Well, Terry Sacco started against Togo. For a large part of the game, he looks isolated, and I'm thinking, that the system or the strategy was we're going to play away, so we should sit back. I mean, the philosophy of football is that the best way to defend is to attack.
Yes.
So sometimes when you attack, I don't want to say loosely, but when you attack so wide, and then when you are caught on the break, then it can be dangerous. So some coaches they prefer to, in the Mourinho words, pack the bus, and I think that's what we were doing in Lomé. We packed the bus for a large part of the game, and I thought we opened up after we conceded. And again, who do you blame for the goal? All right, it's the coach normally will not. A good coach sometimes will not want to apportion blame. But I will be thinking that between Koulibaly, and Sangari, somebody should be at fault for such an easy goal, that we consider. Probably we would have won, on the surface of things. Yes.
Why do you want to blame Koulibaly when what is his name?
He's the goalkeeper. He's the last man. He has a better vision.
You saw the build up to the goal.
I agree. I watched the game
I know you watched it, but the build up to the goal. You saw Mo Sangari standing and putting hands on the man passing by. He put him in a defense. The man passing by.
So yeah,
he was behind the man. He put him up.
So what he didn't want to do was take a card, maybe red, and then you can see a penalty. You know, so you know the footballers. I've spoken to a number of them. They say you have seconds to make decision. You know, so we who are watching the game, we are at a privileged position to make all the analysis. The guy on the field got seconds to make decision. Whether to go with a two-footed challenge, you pick up a card, red card, you got a penalty, you know, like, okay, let me just play my hand up and
because he stood up and put the hands
exactly.
up.
So
why do you make a performer the coach? So he took over the team.
Well, the fact that he has played, I think, 7 games. 7 games. 7 games.
He lost one, right? There's a friend that will play in Morocco.
Well, it's no, I'm talking about his competitive games.
Okay.
Not the friendly. Somebody say it was a practice match because on limited substitutions, so you don't want to really count it. But again, we play, you know, a superior team play an inferior team, and the fact that we lost, it has a lot of things, you know, to reel into it. I mean, but I think Togo by far was his toughest match, you know. Yes,
since
he took over, he can argue that Namibia also was a tough game, and I drew with Namibia, you know. So I think I will give him a 70% passing mark and I will get the chance to watch the game with Algeria tomorrow. They will be by far our biggest,
that's the biggest game for
quality opposition that we will face, you know, since he took over. So on the evidence of what will happen on tomorrow, then maybe we'll give him a 80-90% mark, and then we can have optimism, you know, in the coach and in the players that we can go forward. But
the ex Lone Star captain Snotty Lamford posted on a Facebook page.
Yeah, I read it.
Arguably is the best coach.
No, I don't think he's the best coach. I disagree with Lamford. By far, our best coaches are those who took us to the Nations Cup. And sadly, they have all passed. Wilfred Tijani Landa, Frank Jericho Nangwe, Vava George, you know, peace to their arches, with George Weah as the...
so our generation...
No, but if Lamford says that Mario is our best coach, I have just disagreed with him that our best coaches are those who took us to the Nations Cup finals in 2002 and in 1996. Mario is not our best coach. Yes, you can say on the record of what he has done, to say he has played 7 games, you know, competitive matches, you know, he's yet to get a defeat. Kudos to him. I mean, I'm on this radio and I'm saying kudos to him, but I disagree with Lamford that Mario is our best coach. He's not our best coach. He has not taken us.
Let me read exactly what he wrote on his page. He said, I say what, excuse me, what's this? Okay, come in 1 minute. I want to make it bigger. Okay. He said, say whatever you want to say about this coach. To me, he's a special coach. Bravo. It's not easy to go out and get in draw.
Exactly.
He's a special coach.
Yeah, I agree with Lamford that it's not, especially in African football. I mean, to get a draw away is huge. You know, that's a very good result that will go away from Togo. I mean, if you ask me honestly, I didn't have the belief that we would have, you know, the match would have ended in a draw. I didn't have the belief because Togo, the last time we played Togo, we lost 2-1. You know, and I think at that time with Diba as the coach, I think we, you know, fairly our players, you know, we had maybe the best collection of players since the post George Weah era. Maybe, you know, some will disagree with me. Well, you are entitled to your opinion. I respect it. But we lost to Togo 2-1, you know, and this is the same Togo we went to, conceded, and in the end we fought back and got a draw. So yes, I agree that it's not easy to play in Africa and go away from home and you get a draw. You know, it's not easy. So it's a plus for him. I mean, that's why since he took over, I have not seen him as the special coach like Lamford has seen.
That's a special one.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Mourinho.
Yes, Lamford has seen him as a special one. I have not seen him because we have not played quality oppositions. And
so tomorrow is the first test.
Tomorrow is the first test for Mario. What he will do will up my belief in him, or it will just bring it down, But I mean, since he has taken over, I think he's done well considering the challenges, with salaries delays, delays with training programs.
Do you see happiness? Do you see happiness with the salary delay thing? Do you see happiness in the face of Mario?
Well, he doesn't look
happy.
A happy guy.
Yes.
He doesn't look a happy guy. Maybe he's trying to put some smiles on his face.
But why would they delay the man's salary?
No, but there is an issue with Mario's contract because it is the government of Liberia who's supposed to pay
him
the coach's salary or the technical staff salary. The Football Association signed a contract, all right, without the consent of the government. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Councillor Kobangalu, had a press conference that they are unaware of the contractual agreement between Mario Maranika and the Football Association.
But this government can't met Mario there.
Correct. Now, the president of the Football Association, and I thought that was a foolish response from him, that what's his name? Councillor Bangalu was the one who drafted the contract. Councillor Bangalu was working in his capacity as a lawyer. Not on behalf of the government of Liberia. In fact, so the president wants to push it back to the Football Association. To the government to say it is your responsibility, so you handle it.
Also, the Youth and Sport Minister was then the lawyer for the LFA.
Yes,
and he drafted that contract.
He drafted the contract.
So it was up to the LFA now to take it to the government to say,
exactly. So the Football Association president assumed that because Councillor Bangalu drafted the contract, or crafted it, so in his capacity as Minister of Sports now, he must present it to the Ministry of Finance, and then they start to process the coach salary or all this kind of stuff. The man said, no, I did it in my capacity as a private. If I was not appointed Minister of Sports when I drafted the contract, I was, in my capacity as maybe part of as a lawyer, part of the LFA first instance board, all right, and because he had he was serving in dual capacity. He's the chair of the first instance board. Is the body that clubs that do not meet certain regulations, when they are sanctioned, they take an appeal to that body called the first instance board. So Councillor Kobangalu was the chairman. I'm not too sure whether he has been.
He was member of that committee.
Yeah, chair of them, and then also the awards committee. So considering the relationship he had with the Football Association, so they involve him in drafting the contract. So the president cannot assume now.
We hope the LFA can do the needful, try to submit a contract to the government, so they can pay the coach.
Exactly.
Because for what I saw on Sunday, facial expression tells me that told me that he's not a happy man.
No, he's not a happy man. I don't like to work. I don't like to work and not be paid.
Not be paid. You can't work for so many. Someone owe you 2, 3, 4 months, and you stay. I mean, for that, I think the LFA need to do something about that. Anyway, folks, this is Sky Morning Live. We got 10 minutes to go. We got Danicius Mater, a seasoned sports journalist in studio this morning, talking about the our senior national soccer team, the Lone Star. We are playing Algeria tomorrow at the SKD 4 p.m.
Yep.
Let's hear you. 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. Before Danisha goes, he would tell us his starting lineup tomorrow. He'll tell us his starting lineup. Do you think we can beat Algeria tomorrow? That's a big question I'm asking you people today. Tomorrow, we're all going to the SKD to watch the senior national team play Algeria. In fact, some of you want to go to see some of the Algerian players. But do you think we can make it? Let's go to the lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Julius Boki, and good morning to the senior sports journalist.
Good morning.
Tanisha.
Good morning. Good morning.
But Julius,
yeah,
I watched the first game in Togo.
Okay.
And my take here is this: I think our team never played well.
I agree with
because I watched the game up to the 39 minutes. The team never make the team never even make a 3 or 4 passes.
All right, passes.
The only thing they were doing, they were only blowing the ball.
In the air.
So my question to the journalists: how do you grade a national team in our form when they went out there to go and play, and then they play in our form and manner for 39, 40 minutes? They never even make full far pass. How can you grade a national team in our form? Thank you.
Thank you very much. You want to respond?
No, I will note it. Maybe after
you will note it, then you'll answer you people. Let's go to line 2. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
Morning, Princess.
Princess, let's hear you quickly. Okay, Princess, not ready.
Yeah,
Let's go
Princess
to
not ready.
international line. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Well, I just have a question. One question for the studio guests.
Okay.
You know, these guys. They are some of the veteran in soccer, especially for the national team. Why some of you guys can be the coach for the national team, then and then the national team going outside to get people from there to be the coach? Because I feel like you guys understand the individuals that are playing. Then most of the people that they giving huge amount of money
Yes,
to, and they are
yes.
not doing nothing. Because I watched the national team. It's like they can't even kick on goal.
Exactly.
They can't even keep on going. Then they just turn around, and at the end, they either just fight for draw or they fight for lose. So I think it would be better for people that like the talented in there. Some of you guys to take over the team.
No,
I know that's the truth. They to be paying all that money. All right, to be paying all that money, that's a waste. So for me, it would be better because I know you and I used to see how you can play. Then for some people, to just be wasting money.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
So
you
that,
very
let
much.
me just
Let's
wrap.
take the other caller quick.
Yeah, I want to wrap on this one.
Yeah,
quickly.
caller, let's hear you. 30 seconds.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
yeah.
morning.
This is Ali Masare calling from Kingston District.
Let's hear you. 30 seconds.
When I come to the national team, yeah, they may say player, yeah, you get quality. So where do they work? You see the player we are playing. Yeah, football you have to control it. All the football up. We get perfect ball passer to do the finishing. You see? So because of that, the national team will continue struggling. How much player will get up there to make impact in Europe or up here in Asia, Indonesia, so we didn't get quality player like before. So really impact.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let you respond. You can respond quickly.
Yeah. So on the second caller, yes, I mean I am one person who favor a local coach, you know, and I think the premium we put on foreign coaches, they have not delivered unto us. We brought Antoine Hay, we pay him 10,000, you know, not 10,000, I think 8,000 monthly. I mean, he didn't take us to the World Cup. He didn't even deliver on us, you know. We brought Roberto Landi.
And they're taking us zero salaries.
Yes, we brought Bethlehem Bisky, you know, peace to his arches. So now we have Mario Marenica. The foreign coaches have not done any favor for us. All of the time we've made progress as a country, as a team. It was at the I don't want to say mercy, but it was with the grace of local coaches. All right. But we gave Thomas Kojo the position. We didn't give him the support that he needed, you know, and it's a whole problem, you know. Another time we'll talk about it, the issues the president have with Kojo, you know. So we didn't give Kojo the time. We were watching Kojo, you know. Every morning the president shows up to the training ground. He's want to see this. He has, he's an expert of everything. So he presents this.
You mean elevate president?
Yes. So we pressure Kojo. We bundle him. You know, they didn't give him the support he needed. In the end, we didn't qualify for the Nations Cup. We exited with Kojo. We brought a foreign coach. You know, we have the same issue. So imagine if you pay Thomas Kojo 5,000 or 7,000, give him the same amenities and benefits that you give the local coach,
foreign coaches,
the foreign coaches rather. And if he doesn't give him the same friendly games that you organize, if he doesn't deliver, I mean, because one of the things we did as a country was we look at the we are 11. We say by far maybe they were our best, you know, a collection of players. So we did a coaching course for them, you know. Doing the
all the players from
George Gibro, Kelvin Sebwe, James Diba, Justin, but you know, most of the guys who were in town during the Ebola pandemic, we did a coaching course for them. They have B license, so
that qualifies them to
coach the senior national team and other junior teams. But we didn't roll out the programs for them to pick up, you know. We saw them like outcast, you know. We bundled them aside. And then we ran back to foreign coaches, you know. And now every time a foreign coach comes to the country, and which is a good thing to do, he wants a local coach to work with. So when our last what's his name, Peter Butler, when Butler was here, he took Christopher Ray to be his principal deputy. Mario has taken Kevin Segway, you know. Antoine Hay brought Kembe Hallard because of the issue with Kadala Kroma, you know, wanting to be his deputy and being part of the interview panel. So he got criticized, and the FA thought that it was not a good arrangement. But every time you bring a foreign coach, even a Bisky piece to his arches, he took Gabriel Jones to be his deputy, piece also to his arches. Every time you bring a foreign coach, he goes for a local coach to be his assistant. That means,
but I mean, I'm still trying to understand why was James Diba fired?
Well, I think on the evidence of things, it was a good decision to let Diba go. Diba had a mandate to qualify the team. He was paid, even though
that was in his contract.
Yeah, even though there were some times that there were delays with his salaries, you know, but he was paid. You know, he signed a contract to qualify the team to the Nations Cup. We had our best chance was against Togo. You know, beat Togo, qualify for the Nations Cup. We led 2-0. We conceded 2 goals. The game ended in the draw, and we didn't make it. So yeah, so I mean, it doesn't mean he cannot come back. You know, the problem now is he has not done a refresher course. You know, and that's a coaching criteria is a you must do a refresher course. So if Diba goes to do a refresher, he's qualified to coach the national team. Kelvin is qualified to coach the national team. Christopher Ray is qualified to coach the national team. Thomas Kojo is qualified to coach the national team.
I saw James Diba in the Grand Bazaar team and doing the contest.
But we do not want to give the team to our locals, you know, and maybe it's the mentality that the president of the Football Association has, that there are no good coaches in Liberia. So maybe that's why he opts for, because I'm trying to understand, why will you tell Kevin Segway to go and coach the under 20? You're paying $500 when you had Tafa Mane, you were paying $2,500. It doesn't make sporting sense, you know. And it's good that Kevin has stood his ground that he's not going to coach the under 20 for $500. When you had the immediate coach Tafa Mane, and now he's the coach for B Mountain. We pay him $2,500 to coach the under 20. We went to the Wafu Nations Cup in Mauritania of the qualifiers, and we finished bottom of the group. We pay him. Yeah, Tafa says part of the problem was that he didn't get the support like Ansu Keita had when he was the under 17 coach. Okay, that's that's his excuse. So
we will find time to come here and talk more about the LFA, you know, Labrador football and stuff like that, and that of vis-a-vis the government. We got just a minute to go.
Yes,
you want to draw our team for tomorrow?
Well, I think
if I give you the chance, who you think will start in the goalpost tomorrow?
We go with the same team that started. Play the same team, but maybe you make a change. So maybe I will make a change to the team with the introduction of Divine. That would be
in the midfield.
Yeah, that would be maybe my only change. But I think on the
strategy.
We play.
Are we going to sit back again?
No, I don't think.
Or do you want to put pressure on us?
No, I don't think we should sit back. Because we're playing at home, and we want to qualify. We want to win, so we shouldn't sit back. We should attack. The best way to defend is to attack. So let's attack, because we play home. If we sit back, knowing the Algerians, the way they are and the way they
are fast.
Exactly. You know, yes, they would need maybe first 5-10 minutes to adapt, because they're playing on an artificial turf. You know, mostly they play on natural grass. So you need, football being football, you will need 5-10 minutes to adapt. So while they looking, in fact, they were training on the field, so maybe they will already have, some of the things some good teams can do is to do background check. Where are we playing? We're playing on an artificial turf. So maybe we need to wear a customized boots. We need to train on an artificial turf before we go to the game, because we only have an hour on the eve. So Algeria will train today, 4 o'clock at the SKD, for an hour. What can you get for an hour? So they will do a background check to know what to do. So in terms of adaptability, I don't think that would be a problem. But my parting comment would be, let's attack. Let's make maybe a change to the team, bring Divine in so that we have that attacking flair to win.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the voice of Danicius Mate, a good friend and brother. In fact, I'm a coach. I'm coaching the man.
That's my Chris
All-Star. I'm a coach. So he's my good and dependable right back.
Right back. All right.
Okay, folks, thanks for being there. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be here again with another edition of the program, Sky Morning Live. Tomorrow, I'm going to go out to SKD to watch our team playing Algeria. Have yourselves a wonderful time. My name is Julius Boki, your regular host and producer. Bye-bye for now.